So look, I've spent time with more SUVs than I care to admit at this point. And honestly, most of them look incredible on the showroom floor. But then you actually start digging into them, and reality hits a bit different. The 2025 Lexus RX 350, though, this one's interesting. You can't just take it for a quick spin around the block and call it a day. You really need to get under the hood, check out what's going on, because there are some surprises here that might change your mind about dropping 50 grand. Hey everyone, really glad you're here. Before we dive in, I just want to say that today we're talking about whether this RX 350 is actually worth your hard-earned money, or if there's something better out there that'll be kinder to both your wallet and your peace of mind down the line. Quick thing, if you're finding this helpful, I'd love it if you could hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Not gonna lie, it really does help me keep making these videos for you. Alright, let's get into it. I had a 2025 RX 350 in my garage last week, and you know what I always do first? I listen to how the door sounds when it closes. I know that sounds weird, but hear me out. This one, solid thud. Nice and tight, no cheap rattling sound, the panel gaps look good, everything lines up the way it should, the underbody shields are actually secured properly, and even the fasteners have that protective coating, which tells me Lexus is thinking about what happens when you're dealing with salt, rain, and whatever else the road throws at you. This redesign still looks really clean in person. It's got that understated Lexus vibe, where it's not screaming for attention at every stoplight, just quiet confidence, you know? Here's where we need to have an honest conversation about value. The base RX 350 starts around $49,000. That's BMW X5 territory. That's Mercedes GLE money. So right off the bat, you're not getting some budget luxury crossover here. If you go up to the premium trim, you're looking at about $54,000, and if you really load it up with the luxury trim and all the options, you're flirting with $58,000 to $60,000. That's serious money, and you deserve to know if you're getting serious value in return. Step inside, and yeah, Lexus knows what they're doing here. The standard touchscreen is 9.8 inches, and it actually works with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto without making you want to throw your phone out the window. The digital cluster is sharp enough that you can read it even when the sun's beating down on it. The materials feel premium where your hands actually touch things, which matters more than people realize. The seats are comfortable in that I could drive this for 6 hours kind of way, and the cabin really quiet at highway speeds. This isn't one of those situations where they give you nice stuff on the surface, but then it's all cheap plastic underneath. This is the kind of interior that'll still look respectable at 100,000 miles, and that actually matters a lot when you're thinking about long-term value. The ride is smooth. The cabin stays quiet, the steering is on the lighter side, which most people who are just trying to get through their daily commute really appreciate. Sure, if you're someone who loves attacking corners on the weekend, you might want a bit more feedback, but for most people, this works. Space-wise, it's good for most families, though I'll be straight with you. Rivals like the X5 give you a bit more legroom and cargo room. The safety tech is comprehensive with Lexus Safety System 3.0, and these RX models have been scoring really well in crash tests. So, first impressions, this feels like luxury done thoughtfully, without being overdone. Now let's see if the engine backs up that price tag. Pop the hood and you've got a 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder making 275 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. It's connected to an 8-speed automatic, and you can get it in either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. For most people shopping in this segment, that power is totally adequate. 0 to 60 happens in about 7.2 seconds. That's not going to slam you back in your seat, but it's quick enough for merging on the highway and passing slower traffic without any drama. Now, here's the thing, and I think this is important to understand. This is a downsized, turbocharged four-cylinder. It's replacing what used to be a naturally aspirated V6 in the older RX models. Lexus made this switch mainly to hit those fuel economy targets, and it works. You're getting about 22 city and 29 highway with front-wheel drive, or 21 city and 28 highway with all-wheel drive. That's competitive with the competition and definitely better than the old V6 ever managed. But there's always a trade-off, right? Turbocharged four cylinders can need more attention than naturally aspirated engines. You've got turbo seals, intercooler plumbing, more heat to deal with. Now, to be fair to Lexus, they've been running Turbo 4s in their other models for years without major problems. Their reliability track record is really strong. I've personally seen plenty of Lexus engines go past 150,000 miles needing nothing more than regular oil changes and standard maintenance. But if you're planning to keep this thing for 10 years or more, it's something to keep in the back of your mind. The 8-speed automatic is smooth and pretty much stays out of your way. It's not the fastest shifting transmission out there, but it's predictable and reliable. I've seen these transmissions hold up really well over time, and changing the fluid is straightforward. That matters when you're thinking about what ownership actually costs over the long haul. From a performance standpoint, the RX 350 isn't trying to be a sports SUV. It's tuned for comfort and efficiency, not lap times. If you want more punch, Lexus offers the RX 500 HP F-Sport Performance with 336 horsepower, but you're paying an extra $15,000 to $20,000 for that. For most buyers, the standard RX 350 delivers plenty of performance for daily life without the premium price. You know that feeling when you sit in a really comfortable chair that just fits you perfectly? That's kind of what the RX 350 feels like on the road. Lexus clearly tuned this for comfort first, and it shows. It's smooth over potholes, calm on rough roads, and really planted on the interstate. This isn't one of those vehicles that'll wear you out after driving it all day. The steering stays light, maybe almost too light if you're really into spirited driving, but for daily use, it's easy and predictable. The suspension soaks up bumps without feeling bouncy, and body roll is controlled without being harsh. This makes sense for commuters, for families running errands, for people doing road trips who value comfort over sportiness. The brakes are solid, nothing fancy, but they stop the vehicle predictably without any drama. The pedal feel is natural, and there's enough bite to bring down this 4,400-pound SUV without any panic moments. That's exactly what you want in a family vehicle. Visibility is decent for this segment. Yeah, the A-pillars are thick, that's pretty common now for crash protection, but the windows are large enough that you're not driving with major blind spots. The backup camera is standard and helpful in tight parking situations. If you get the 360-degree camera on the higher trims, you'll avoid curb rash in tight spots without stress. Where the RX 350 really earns its value is how it feels after the first 50,000 miles. I've seen older RX models with 6 figures on the odometer that still ride smooth, don't rattle, and feel tight. That's the kind of long-term quality that actually justifies paying luxury prices up front. You're not buying something that'll feel worn out in 5 years. You're buying something that'll still feel solid in 10. Bottom line from behind the wheel, this is a cruiser. It'll eat up highway miles without wearing you out, absorb city bumps without complaining, and keep your passengers comfortable. If you want sharp, precise handling, the RX 350 isn't chasing that trophy. But if you want comfort that lasts, it's ranking pretty high. Getting into the RX 350 feels like stepping into a well-organized space where everything just makes sense. The dashboard is clean, buttons are right where your fingers expect them to be, and the materials feel upscale without seeming fragile. Lexus has built a reputation for interiors that age gracefully, and this one fits that pattern. The seats have that firm but comfortable feel that actually holds up over time, not that soft foam that collapses after a couple summers. Even the base seats are comfortable. If you step up to the leather in the premium or luxury trims, you're getting material that's legitimately nice. Heated and ventilated front seats are available, and they work quickly without feeling like you're sitting on a heating pad or an ice pack. The little touches matter too. Heated steering wheel, hands-free power liftgate. These aren't revolutionary features, but they're the things you actually use every day. The tech works without fighting you. Wireless CarPlay connects quickly, the touchscreen responds smoothly, and the voice commands actually understand what you're saying most of the time. Space-wise, because this definitely matters for families, up front you've got plenty of room. Rear passengers get 37.4 inches of legroom, which is decent but not the best in class. If you're regularly hauling tall teenagers or adults in the back, they'll fit, but competitors like the X5 and Acura MDX offer a bit more space. For most families with younger kids or occasional adult passengers, it works fine. Cargo space is 29.6 cubic feet behind the rear seats. That's enough for a week's worth of groceries, golf clubs, or 2 large suitcases. Drop those rear seats and you've got 46.2 cubic feet to work with. Not massive, but enough for most family needs. The load floor is flat, the lift gate